right, everyone. Welcome to the Pleb Critics Podcast. I'm your host, Evan, and I'm here with my friends.
El Scribbler.
Big Daddy Mo.
And Preston.
All right. El Scribbler and Big Daddy Mo both have YouTube channels. You can find them at those exact names. Just check them out. They got great content. As a bit of housekeeping first, I'm going to say, if you like this video and our channel, please like and subscribe, share this video, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Anything that you do really helps us out. We want to grow this channel so we can bring you guys more great content. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with our topic for today. We're going to be talking about the new Pixar film Soul, doing a little bit of a review of that, and a bit of a retrospective on Pixar. So, not all of us watched Soul.
Not all of us were planned for this podcast.
Well, thank you for showing up.
So Soul after or now, and then just wave at you to come in?
How about after, so I could just dip?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can do it after.
Yeah.
We'll do it after.
Timestamp.
If you're listening to this podcast, it will be a retrospective, all Pixar movies except Soul beforehand. And for the sake of me and you, we will give you a warning once we start talking about Soul, and then we can not have spoilers.
Yep.
But spoilers for every other Pixar movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's just say that. Every other one.
I haven't seen them all, but I don't care. Spoil them.
You've seen like 13?
14 out of like, what, 23, 24?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
I've only not seen like Toy Story 4 and then Cars 2 and 3. Those are the only ones
I just watched Cars 2 this week and Toy Story 4 this week.
Okay.
Nice.
Just to catch up. Those are the only two I hadn't seen.
I've seen them all except Soul.
Is Cars 2 really that bad?
I mean, it was bad. I don't know. Like, it was just not what you expect for a Pixar film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it was an excuse. First of all, it's money, right? Because Cars 2, or Cars in general, has like the most massive merchandising.
Yeah, fun fact. The Cars franchise, in I think 2010, it was reported, they made $10 billion on toy sales.
With a B.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so that's why
spell it.
Cars has 2 sequels. Even if you didn't like the first Cars,
Right.
The toys made enough money to just carry whatever they made box office gross-wise.
So basically the money just made them make the next few movies.
Right.
Yep. More toys.
And the second one, it really felt like that, because it was like, it was just Larry the Cable Guy, the film.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a spy movie. He was the main character.
Yeah, he was like a spy film, but he's like the unwitting, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, yes. I
kind
did
of the
see
Johnny,
that one.
Johnny
in the
English,
background.
like Austin Powers kind of style of things, but it just doesn't work with a redneck as the main guy.
And
What are you trying to say?
How dare you?
Saying rednecks can't be the main characters?
They can, but not in that spy movie.
I think they can. I think they can. The problem is they're cars.
Yeah.
They're vehicles.
That's the thing. It was like, you can't. I understood the first one because it was all about racing.
Yeah.
So you can
Right.
understand it's just like you think there's a person behind the wheel, but the car thinks that they're actually important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the second one, the cars are literally jumping through buildings. They're literally doing everything that you would see a spy do.
Oh yeah, they got
Fast and Furious.
They
bro,
got
come
like
on.
grappling hooks, and they have like guns and boomerangs and I don't know what boomerangs.
Hold on, they
So,
actually have.
yeah.
Hold on, they actually
So-
have guns in this movie. Cars.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cars
the
are
two.
carrying
Yes.
guns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like
Right.
their security
they're
guards,
built,
things
they're
like
built
that.
into the cars.
Oh my
into
god,
the
I have to see
hubcaps.
this movie.
Yeah.
This movie
The
sounds so
hubcaps.
awesome.
It's
No,
so
no,
stupid.
no.
So actually, now that you put it as Fast and the Furious, I can't unsee it now.
Bro,
That's how.
I
That's why
want to watch
can't
this
see
movie.
it.
Yeah,
They have-
it used to be all about racing. Now it's all about.
Yeah, being spies, but the
Dude.
cars can fly for some
Where's
reason.
Tyrese at?
There's an entire scene that takes place in a car toilet.
Yep.
A car toilet.
A car toilet.
Yeah.
Wait a
like,
minute, wait a
No,
minute.
like a Japanese toilet,
Like a
where
bathroom
it squirts
stall.
in your butt, like one
It
of
has a
those
bidet.
ones.
Is it-
Yes.
Is it, it's not
car-
a douche, is it?
It has a car bidet.
Yeah.
Okay.
has
And
a
so
car
it
bidet.
gets Larry the Cable Guy, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Huh.
It's just, it's too much world building. That's the thing. When they kept the story small and they said, oh, it's a little town, and you can kind of accept that the cars are sentient and all this stuff. But then they're like, the second film they're talking about, oh, gasoline is made from dinosaurs, from the ground, all those dead animals. And you're like, wait a minute, there used to be animals?
Yeah, exactly. But
Because when you look around,
They're-
hold on, they're driving around and there's birds that are planes.
Yep.
The birds are
all
planes.
the creatures are actually
the
automated.
bugs are Volkswagen bugs.
Yep.
So you're telling me that all of life on Earth got usurped by cars.
Maybe the dinosaurs are like Dinobots from Transformers. I don't know.
But then
Yeah,
how would they turn
the-
into petrol?
I didn't write the movie, bro. Okay? I didn't write the movie.
No. You've heard of the Pixar Theory, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
and
the
it's
Pixar
so
Theory-
stupid. No.
It basically says all the Pixar movies happened, and Wall-E, they basically say once they come back, they turn into the monsters because of radioactiveness, because the world was still toxic. And then once they all died out because of the toxicity, they started making more robots like Wall-E, which then took over the world, which were car form. So yeah, basically world happened, but cars are now a thing.
It's so stupid
Yeah.
though, because like
It doesn't.
Boo is like
Someone is too little too creative in trying to
Right.
make this a
Right.
thing.
It's like the
Yeah.
person that came up with the exact day for the "Today Was a Good Day" by
Yeah,
Ice Cube.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, you had too much time in your hands, bro.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube has like never confirmed any of the days.
No, he
either.
didn't, because he said was it the person said January 20th, 92, but
Right.
Ice Cube was just like, no.
No.
I'm like, well, you gave out the information, he took it and ran
Right.
with it.
Well, Ice Cube apparently said it is an actual day, but no one has guessed it right.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, he could be lying.
He got to be, because homie went through everything he had.
I take it this is
perfect.
music related because I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, no, it's an Ice Cube song.
I'm sure Ice Cube was in a Pixar movie, and I'm sure Today Was a Good Day can relate to that.
He was
Maybe.
not in a Pixar movie.
I don't know. No, maybe not.
No, trust me. I
Yeah,
would know.
Preston would know.
No, I can't think of nothing. I'm
Either
sorry.
way, yeah, Cars 2, dumb film.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
recall seeing it now.
we can
Oh
get
my
it. I
gosh.
think we can get
could've
it out of
gone
the way.
not
as just,
remembering
it's it's the worst in their catalog.
Well,
It sounds awesome to me.
here's no. Here's the
course.
thing. What is your personal worst? Like, let's get through that,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I would
yeah.
definitely say Cars 2 is my personal
I have
worst.
to, like, look at a
Just
list right
because
now.
the first one, you have this car that basically it's going through a racing circuit and everything, and then falls into this town. It's a really nice story, and it follows NASCAR because there's a lot of homages to old NASCAR racers, and the third one as well, which I love the third one. So if you stopped at Cars 2, make your way to Cars 3.
Yeah, actually,
it's an amazing film.
actually, Cars 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, because it goes
Oh, it
back
is?
to
Okay.
Yeah.
it goes back to
To the
the
roots?
NASCAR roots, actually pulling in different cars that are named in homage of real racers.
Okay.
And yeah, and like go through real things and basically say like, oh yes, like our world is basically the real world, but we're just cars as the drivers, because a lot of times these drivers are known as their cars. It's like, oh, that's 43 Kevin Harvick kind of deal. It's not like, oh, that's Kevin Harvick, the race car driver. No, you know the car and you know him. They're one and the same, and that's basically what the universe was built on. And the reason 2 sucks is because it forgot about that and tried to be a totally different film and leave the NASCAR world.
Because that's what I saw about the first one. Even when you see the cop, I mean, you identify a cop normally with their patrol car as well, not just the suit they wear, but their
Yeah.
patrol car. Everybody you identify with the vehicle they drive. I mean, you could see someone on the side of the road and kind of tell what they do for a living.
That's my worst. What is yours, Evan?
I think the worst one is The Incredibles.
There you go, my man.
No, I'm just joking.
He's reading my
I'm
notes that
joshing.
list it
Yeah,
at the
I'm
best.
joshing.
Your personal
Oh yeah, I was
favorites.
looking. That's the list I was looking at too.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's too easy to crap on Cars 2 because it's a bad film. I mean, I only just watched it this week. Whatever, but I wasn't disappointed by it. I wasn't disappointed by it because I knew.
Yeah.
I already knew.
Yeah, you're well prepared.
I think I was probably the most disappointed by Brave.
I
Brave
was not expecting that one.
Brave
Yeah.
really disappointed me. I went into that film way too excited. Way too excited. And I came out literally like depressed at what the film actually was personally. I don't know.
When did you see Brave? Like when it first came out?
Yeah.
Okay. So what depressed you about this film?
I just expected it to be a more, I don't know, like more battle oriented, epic, because they were kind of marketing it as this like, oh, it's a Celtic sort of an
More
action
action-based
action
Pixar movie than
oriented.
they've ever done before.
Right. And it had like a all these films have had real people in it, but
Weren't they like Vikings or something? What was
yeah,
it?
they're like they're just Celts, old, like Scottish Highlanders and
Okay.
stuff.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, it might have been in it. I don't remember.
How to Train Your Dragon. My bad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he was that. He was stoic. So yeah, I was almost expecting something like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, and they came out around the same time. I believe Brave might have been 2012.
You
or
are correct.
or 2011.
2012.
Something like that.
And How to Train Your Dragon was 2010.
Yes.
So
Great
I was
movie.
kind of expecting something in that
The same vibe.
same realm. Instead, you got a story about a bear mom and her daughter.
I thought the dad was the bear.
No, the mom's the
No.
bear.
Mom's the bear?
Yeah, the
okay.
mom's the
Yeah,
bear.
the mom's the bear, and then there's like an evil bear.
No,
and,
dude.
Okay.
and it's like the shadow of like what will happen to her if she doesn't become human and love her daughter. Right. And, and
I
it's
had
like,
completely forgotten this
Yeah,
story. That's
right.
not
It's-
but I went in not expecting much.
Right, it's
It was just like,
very-
this doesn't seem like a Pixar film. I didn't even know it was a Pixar film until you put it on the list. It was just like, oh my gosh,
Oh.
that was Pixar.
I,
Like,
I don't know.
oh well.
It's a setting that I really enjoy.
Yeah, same.
I like that aesthetic. I love the music. They released the soundtrack beforehand, and I really like
It
the
is
soundtrack.
awesome, yeah.
It's very good. That's the best part of the film. It's the best part. And it like the story, I don't know, it just kind of, it let me down. I just remember at the end of it, like me and my friend that we were just like, man, we just looked at each other and just like had nothing to say, but I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
What if you could change your fate? Would you?
Yes, I would change that.
I would definitely have to say that for me, after watching Soul, would have to be Soul. I was
okay.
no. I'm just gonna say I
Yep,
was
yep.
massively let down by what I was expecting.
Really?
I was expecting so much more, but I just didn't care. And I just cared for one person the entire film, only one, and that was it. And normally Pixar gets you to care about everyone. You care about every character in the world, and here I couldn't get to care about anyone but one character, and it was just like I was completely let down because I was expecting something great. But that's me because 2 is too easy to crap on because everyone craps on it. So for me, it would have to be Soul.
See, the only one, of the ones I've seen, the only one I can barely remember is Cars. I mean, when I saw it, I was like young, so
Yeah.
that was the first and only time I seen it. But I'm gonna say like the movie that I was hyped for that let me down was Soul also.
Huh.
I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but seeing the trailer, they talking about like afterlife and all that. So I'm like, okay, this movie's gonna be deep, it's gonna be beautiful. And then I'm just
Music
like,
oriented.
yeah.
You expect that to have great jazz, great
Exactly.
music, and it's just
It
what?
had the music, but like I said, it
No.
was all about the characters and whatnot. And like I said, I don't want to get too much into it without
Yeah.
spoiling it, but yeah, I was excited for that movie.
Yeah.
And it was like the main character is black, so I'm like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Because hey, you know what's funny? Representation do matter, and I kind of noticed that a lot this year. So I mean, it was nice seeing a black guy as the main character, but it was a letdown.
Yeah, we'll
Huh.
get into it later as to
Mhm.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Thanks, the main character. Hey,
You gotta see
they
it.
should have had Tyrese be the main. Come on, homeboy, I gotta get to my body. Shut up. And he's gonna be eating it. He's gonna be eating the entire movie,
Uh-huh. You'll hear it in the mic.
right?
It becomes an ASMR movie.
They can't even edit it out. It's just constantly
All he's
eating.
doing is like driving the car. All you hear is
just to animate the character with a piece of gum in his mouth. It's just like, oh, a chip got stuck in there. That's why you hear the crunch.
I mean, it's kind of true. He is sort of eating the whole film.
I think that's like is in his contract. He always has to eat.
Yeah. No, that's funny. You already said. Did you say your
Yeah, it was Cars 2. Yeah.
Cars
Okay.
2?
Weird.
Yeah. Okay. What about favorites?
Ooh, I would have to say Onward. I actually didn't see it till this week,
What?
but I was
It's a good movie. It's
surprised.
a good movie.
Okay.
You didn't
let
like
me
it?
get to it.
Go ahead.
Let me get to it. I was surprised. I actually started editing while I was going through this because I didn't expect much of it. But it's a brother. I have only brothers,
Mhm.
so it's a brother-based story. They rely on each other. The father wants to spend time with him. I mean, what they got the scene that really got me was when the oldest brother sacrifices his car, and I got more emotion out of that than I did out of Soul in general. So it's just like
Same here.
that
Same here.
one scene was just like, and I've had a panel van. You love those vehicles.
See that, and that's what I was actually going to say this. I think it's because you identify personally so much with the
panel
people,
van?
with the people, right?
Yeah.
Because and we'll get to it, but I totally disagree about Soul.
the only
I
child-
completely disagree about
Oh,
Soul.
you saw the movie?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I completely disagree.
Yeah.
But I definitely personally identify with the characters in Soul.
Well, because the music based.
Yeah.
The music is the primary.
And it's beyond that.
Yeah.
It's all the different, and we'll talk about it. But anyway, so it's just funny. I figured you probably would like that film, but I didn't think it would be your favorite.
Yeah, well, I was surprised by it because I mean,
That's your favorite?
Yeah, I've loved Wall-E, I've loved Finding Nemo, I've loved everything. But it's the thing is, it's like as I've watched those hundreds of times already, and they've kind of worn out their welcome. And I guess it's because Onward is brand new to me. I just saw it this week, and the fact that it's still fresh, and I've seen it twice now since, and I just enjoyed it that much. It was great. It's more, I can relate to it far better. I mean, the father-in-law is a cop.
Hey, what was
a
the little
centaur
people called?
cop.
What was the little people called? Was it sprites or something?
Yeah, the sprites.
Bro,
Yeah.
that whole
Fairies,
scene
the
was
pixies.
hilarious.
They were funny.
Come on, Shades.
The only thing I didn't like about that scene where they're at the gas station was they reused the joke from Ratatouille.
Yeah, they did.
What was the joke? Only seen Ratatouille once.
Okay, so there's a scene in Ratatouille where Linguini falls asleep and Colette comes in the kitchen in the morning and
Has to animate him.
right. So Remy is like trying to hold up him while he's
I remember
asleep.
that. Yeah.
Right, and then she like trying to talk to him, and he just does this like head tilt thing, like
Yeah, with the glasses on.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, so they did that.
they
in,
did that
Onward.
almost exact thing where they're like, "Hey, buddy, we're talking to you," and then he just
Hey, because that's a cool little head now.
You
know?
can tell by the animation that it was exactly the same way too.
It
They
was very-
reuse a lot of the same animations depending on the movies they're working on.
Hey, it's cheaper. Gotta
It's a
save
lot
that money.
cheaper,
Yeah.
And if it still
But
works.
I definitely, I don't think it's my favorite, but I did love Onward as well. To the point where if I wasn't in quarantine during that time, I was for Halloween. I was actually going to be Ian. I know most of you don't know what I look like, but I do look like Ian
It's
from
true.
Onward, and my brother looks identical
Yep.
to Barley.
Yep.
Yes, really, it's kind of freaky.
It
and
is.
he has a cast on most of the movie, and my brother literally wore a cast for like 2 years straight that looked identical to this.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Seriously, it's
and the
freaky.
and the story is kind of similar.
yeah,
Kind of similar.
But
I got to say, one thing I did love was the world building. The fact that everyone left magic for convenience. I can understand that.
See,
That makes
that-
sense
but
to me
that's
because
the
it's just
part-
like convenience always wins
But
over
that's actually
hard work.
That's actually one of the parts that I felt was lazier about the film.
Really?
Because like magic is still clearly insanely useful.
That's the thing. I
Yeah.
think they made it too overly powered. Now, if they like, because he got the powers way too quickly. His brother basically told him what to say, and he could do it immediately.
You know
it's
what,
the
though?
heart. It's the how you say it. It's the passion you put into it.
But it sounds like only certain people could use the magic.
That's the thing.
So I think
Convenience
that
takes
brother
over,
could have been doing
and then
it.
a lot
Yes.
of people, because not everyone wants to train, because you don't know if you're one of the thousands. Because his brother couldn't do
Well,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying is it doesn't feel lazy to me because it's like you're the chosen one. Like it's in your blood. You got the magic blood. Like kind of like a Jedi. Like you have the
Yeah.
Classic
midichlorians.
chosen one trope. It's just the fact that I like the fact that everyone, even the chosen ones, didn't want to partake because it's far easier to just turn on a light switch. It's far
No, and
easier to turn on your car
I
than
get
to
that.
cast a spell and fly.
I get that, but it's like, okay, so the pixies literally have wings.
Yeah.
And they just can't. They're
They-
like, oh, we don't know how to do this anymore. Like, how?
and they're about to
Well,
fall.
fat
and
people
they-
literally have legs and they don't know how to use them.
Well, they know how. They just-
fool.
Yeah. I was like, looking at you, Big Daddy.
I know. I looked at him.
I'm like zoning out. All I hear is
I-
fat people have legs too. Like what? Wow.
Hey, y'all have been in Walmart and you look at that person where you're like, I
Yeah.
know you
Oh,
could
yeah,
use
they're in the-
I'm sitting there
Yeah.
looking at them like, man, you
Motorized
make us
scooter.
fat people look disgusting. Like I see them with their scooter, then they just get up out the chair. Ooh, let me get some Cheez-Its.
Yeah. And then they sit back down and put it in their little basket.
Oh my gosh.
We got to stop fat shaming.
The people.
No, they need to be shamed. Get up out your seat, man. Exercise.
It's
Like,
kind
come
of
on.
true. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Like
true.
for real.
No. Well, okay. There we go. This is the fat hate.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Hey, I'm fat. I've been fat my whole life. I can talk about y'all. You know, get up out your seat. Man.
Hey, I lost most of my weight. I still there, but
Yeah.
I'm still got to thin out more.
Yeah.
I can't thin out on being in a
Yeah,
race.
Yeah.
You
You
got
got that loose
problems,
skin looking
man.
like fat bastard.
Yep.
You can hang yourself with your loose skin.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so
Go
onward.
back to Pixar.
Onward.
This is supposed to be
Pixar,
more
yeah.
kid friendly at this point.
Onward. Yeah, I don't know. I just think
Pixar.
that there were parts of Onward where I'm kind of like, yeah, but you would still have specialists. You would still have people that like can levitate.
Well, you
like,
would
that's
think-
so it's so useful.
The thing is like you'd think they would be the professors. You'd think they would be people who teach classic way, just like you have historians that still
Right.
teach like Greek mythology, religious faiths, things like that, because it's still relevant this
Right.
day and age. We want to learn about our past.
I don't doubt that they're, if magic existed in any hypothetical universe, like if they discovered electricity, of course they're eventually gonna get smartphones and all the same
Yeah.
things that we have, but that's like Shadowrun, right? Shadowrun is that universe where people have magical powers and it's cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing I'm working on. I mean, people veer more towards convenience, but they kind of went lazy about it, because the biggest problem I had was he just understood the magic way too quickly.
Yeah.
Even though his brother had been studying it for years.
That was plot convenience though.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have the plot if one of them couldn't do the magic.
Yeah, and he's just inherently gifted at it. It's just still, I couldn't get past that part.
He's
Just
Ray.
but I did love
God.
the brother. The brother was great. They got along so well, and it's
Yes.
just like
It's a true relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as having only brothers myself, it's nice to see that, because every time
Yeah.
you see a Pixar movie, they have siblings. It's normally like either a sister or two siblings, and it's just like a dynamic when it comes to like either it's the main character being a female. I can't really completely relate. I can love the story, but I can't completely relate. Or it's a boy and then he has a sister. I can't completely relate, because just like with the Toy Stories, Andy had a younger sister. I couldn't completely relate. You love the stories, but it's mainly about the toys.
Yeah.
But on this one, it was about the brother relationship, completely about the brother relationship.
Well, I mean, it's a personal story from the director himself, where his father died young, and he had like his brother, kind of same thing, where he realized, oh, my brother kind of was a big part of my life, and kind of that father figure that I never knew I even needed. And the brother was like this lovable mess up, and he even then can still teach someone stuff, even
Right.
though he's messing it up. So it's really touching, the story. And like you could tell, it's totally a love letter of life. And with magic, without it, it's still a beautiful story.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a great film. It's not my favorite.
I want a brother now.
You want a brother?
What are you talking about, man? I'm right here.
Ask
You
your,
are a
ask your mom
brother.
and- ask your mom and dad. Maybe they'll give you one.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh no.
Did I walk into something?
It's cool. They're only dead. It's okay. That's okay. I'll see them in the great beyond.
Oh
Dude.
no.
You're joking, right?
No.
Oh
No, don't worry about it. We're good. We're good.
oh oh no.
He used
I'll
that.
fight you later.
He used that as a way to get someone to do work for him at
Oh
work.
my
Oh,
god.
I love it. It's like, oh, you talking about my mom? My mom died like 5 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well-
it happened the week when he started making mom jokes to you, though, and then he felt guilty
Oh
about
my
it
god!
forever.
Yes, the second my mom died, one of the workers started cracking mom.
One of the
jokes.
bosses.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, but my mom's died. No, she didn't. Dude, she just died a few days.
I just
no,
got
she
back from
didn't.
the funeral.
I just got back from the funeral.
Oh my god.
Oh, I feel like crap. He started like cleaning my vents and everything.
Get him to do work.
they're like, what you doing over here? Oh yeah, he said something about my mom, so I got him clean it.
Oh
But
my
back to the
Pixar.
Do I leave this in the podcast?
No.
Yeah.
This took a bad turn.
Hey, this is something people can relate to.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
never know who can be talking. You never know, because I mean, heck, I have a nuclear family. It's
A nuclear?
yeah. You're an only
Nuclear?
child. I mean, you have one. Yeah, so it's just
Nuclear?
nuclear.
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 Wait, did you say I have one?
Nuclear.
What?
He has two brothers.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said
I
you
always
have
forget
one.
about your oldest brother. I honestly always forget about your oldest
Yeah,
brother.
most people do.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because he up and left when I was a kid. So
Well,
like Toy
he's,
Story.
he's living his life.
Yeah,
he's living his
yeah.
life.
Toy Story is really good.
Okay, yeah. Let's get to you. Let's get to you.
Okay, so what was the question?
What? Okay. hold on.
Favorite
Wait,
Pixar
before
film.
we get to that, let's just get the giggles out, and then we'll get back to it. The question was, what is the best Pixar movie? And then we'll go to Big Daddy Mo over here.
You know, as far as okay, I'm trying to put my glasses on. How you do this? Okay, I love the Toy Story movies. Those are my favorites. As far as which one, that's a tough one for me. I know it's not the first one. I love the first one, but I mean, man, the characters in the second and third. I mean, you got the Ken doll, you got Barbie, and then the actors they bring with it. I mean, I started really loving Michael Keaton, like in around 2010 when he started making his comeback and all that with the other guys and all that. But I mean, they have some great villains too. I mean, come on, Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Two,
God,
Sid
Sid
the
was
Prospector.
perfect.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Sid the Prospector.
No. It's not. Sid's the kid from the first film.
Yeah,
Sid-
Sid is
okay.
Oh,
The
what's his name?
prospector
Was it
is just
Joe?
No,
Stinky
Prospector.
Pete.
Yeah.
Stinky Pete.
Stinky
Yes.
Pete. Okay, the prospector. Yeah.
And that was Kelsey Grammer in the role.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Great.
did it
Yeah,
great.
did a good
Yes.
job.
But what was the purple bear's name in the third
Lotso.
one?
Yeah, Lotso
Yep.
hugging.
Oh my
Or
god,
Lotso
bro.
loving.
Lotso hugging.
Yeah.
Lotso loving's very different.
I
I
mean,
don't
y'all
know.
can't tell me as a kid, like after seeing Toy Story, you'd walk out their room, you got your toys laid out. Where they at? No.
Right, you're like,
To
you
this-
better move. I know your secret.
To this
Yeah.
day, I still would not do anything in front of a toy. Like if I have like my Barney doll, I keep them in the closet.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, now hold on.
I keep them turning.
You
them-
have a Barney doll.
It's from like when I was 4.
You still have one.
I still have it.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to hold on to things for
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
Dude,
That's-
I
that's
have
my
my
Barney.
Pikachus. I have all my stuffed animals. I keep them all.
Hey, we don't toy shame on this podcast.
No, I'm not.
Exactly. I love my toys. I will still play them. Heck, on Christmas, I actually stole my nephew's Legos on Secret Santa because I answered a question right. I stole his Legos so I can play with them.
Legos aren't toys. They are a brick building system.
It says you can play up till 99 on those, and
Yeah.
I will play up till 99.
I like Toy Story.
Yeah.
But
also-
which one
but
is
also-
the best?
I think I said number 3.
Number 3? I
I
would
think-
agree with you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
the
it goes
heartfelt
3.
at the end.
Yes.
That's
That's
It
what
was-
I
I don't
like-
know. To me, it was manipulative.
I felt like it was still like
it
the
was.
perfect trilogy
Well,
though.
It was, but it built up to it. So it wasn't completely
Are you talking about?
manipulative.
Are you talking about with the part with Annie, like leaving, or?
No, more so the when they go into the trash.
Oh
Burning
man, I
or
was in
whatever.
the theater. Oh, I'm like 19.
Everybody tearing
I'm sitting
up,
there
yeah.
like tears are like running down. I'm like, are they really
Yeah.
about to end the movie like this?
Right.
No, this is
But-
this is G. This
I
is
love
rated
what
G.
you just said, that you were 19 around the time the third one
Third
came
one,
out.
yeah.
So most people that watched the original Toy Story, by the time the third one came out, were either going to college very soon,
Yeah.
or were already in college. So it
Yeah.
was like
Relate
the-
to Andy
yes.
far more.
Yes,
They
yes.
knew their audience, and that's why I think the next film, I think it was like Monsters University after that, because they did
Ooh.
these
Cars
universe.
2
Oh, Cars 2
was the next one.
Okay. Anyways, but they did the college movies, I think, for knowing like, okay, our audience has stayed with us since the beginning. Let's just, like relate to them a little more.
Yeah.
Give them a story about them in this college state of life. And that's where I think, yeah, the third one gave it of, you know, giving away to Bonnie and everything. And it
just made
was
me
an
love that
emotional
movie even
movie.
more
And
now.
you
Yeah.
could say it's
Yeah.
yeah. And, I mean, if you watch 4, it
Okay, now
Yeah.
4.
It-
when I okay, like I feel like Toy Story is the best trilogy. It had the perfect ending. They should have stayed right there. But number 4 was just like, what can y'all really do? Like they were with Andy this entire time, and you know now they separated. That was just perfect. He's with another kid. But to have number 4 come out is like, bruh, now y'all just doing it for money.
Yeah.
Now y'all about to ruin it. But when I saw it, it was mostly just a story about Woody because he doesn't belong with that family no more. I'm like, okay, this
Right.
is probably a decent story. But even Buzz Lightyear doesn't have that big of a role. Like,
No.
I guess he's finding out about the inner voice, like, I don't know, like his soul or something.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
that
I like
was
that.
funny,
That was
and
pretty
Tim
funny.
Allen pulled it off
and
perfectly.
then
Yeah.
was it the villain? I forgot her name.
The
The
Little
doll or
Susie
whatever.
or something.
Yeah.
But
like,
I liked her. I liked her reasoning
Susie
too.
talks a
because
lot or whatever.
She's a toy. She you know what I'm saying? She wants to be with a human.
Oh,
the human she was with.
Gabby?
Gabby,
so-
talk like Gabby or Gabby?
something Gabby.
Something Gabby.
I don't know. Ooh, let me shut up. I was about to say something wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I mean that's the one I still haven't seen because I was like, you ended so perfectly.
Mhm.
I don't want to watch something that seems more like a filler.
But it wasn't
Instance.
a bad.
It
It wasn't a
wasn't
bad.
bad. It wasn't
movie.
bad.
It was good.
The
but it
first one,
wasn't filler.
like you brought up, Preston, it was perfect because it built up for the audience that grew up with it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
me, like Big Daddy. It just we're of the right age for when it first came out
Call
when we
me
watched
Mo.
it.
Call
Well,
me Mo.
Okay,
And when
Mo.
You're the one that
There's
introduced
3 other
yourself
guys,
as
and I'm like,
Daddy.
yeah, but you know, there might be some ladies watching. You know, Big Daddy Mo.
And then I'm calling you Big Daddy. Okay, fine, Mo. Yeah, but it's just like one
Big
of
Mo.
those things that built up so perfectly. And it seems like the new one could be more of a building up new characters and all this is trying to reboot a whole new trilogy for a new audience.
I don't think they're gonna go more
No.
after 4.
I hope not.
They're doing a Buzz Lightyear film.
No, it's
Yeah.
actually about. It's actually
It's
about the
actually
prequel
about
inspired
the
to toys.
real-
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So basically, it's
So it's
super
in-
meta. What it's based on is Buzz Lightyear, the movie that the toy was based on.
In the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
In the
okay.
Toy Story world.
okay.
Kind of like how G.I. Joe toy is based off of Bruce Willis.
No.
What?
Really?
He's
No.
a real G.I. Joe.
No, you're talking about the movie.
G.I.
dude.
Joe. Okay, whatever. Okay, so do you mean it's like the Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV show?
No.
No.
Okay. No. So
No.
basically, like in universe, the movie that made all the Buzz Lightyear toys.
Yeah.
This is that movie.
Okay.
So like
Oh yeah,
Andy
'cause
Andy's the
commercials
real
over it.
kid. So
Yeah.
someone in his world, like someone he would watch on TV.
Right.
It's their story.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
And so it's not like it's an actor portraying Buzz Lightyear doing that story. So it's Chris Evans instead of Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, I'm really confused.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
So even
this
like-
is
it's
a
like-
hold on. This is a animated
True
live
story.
action film.
No, not live action. Not live action.
That's no. What I mean is it's
Like live action in the world.
In the world, it's live action.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
In
But
world,
it's
it's live action.
animated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Super
bro.
meta.
So
Yeah,
hold on.
Yes.
like honestly,
Okay,
okay, so
Chris,
you're telling me-
Chris Evans had to come out and even explain what it was because no one got what they were even
Yeah.
doing.
Okay, so
Okay.
basically this is it. Okay, Buzz Lightyear comes from a show. Let's say it comes from Andy's favorite TV show.
Yes, this is
So
the show.
So that show turned into the movie.
Okay, so
Oh God, I'm sorry.
essentially-
It's like it's like Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
when they've
Turbo
got-
Man.
They got Turbo Man, right?
Uh-huh.
And they got the Turbo Man film
yes,
in the movie, right?
yes,
And then there's a Turbo
you
Man
asking me or
TV
telling me?
show. There's a Turbo Man TV show inside the movie,
Yeah.
right?
And let's
And
like
then the
they
toy
make,
Turbo Man is based upon that TV show and that movie.
but they're making a movie off of Turbo Man. Like Turbo Man is the main focus
so
of this
imagine
movie.
if they came out with a Turbo Man film this year, and it's based off of
that toy.
the film of the toy from the movie.
yeah. Or
Explain to me if you were talking to a child.
okay.
we are.
Wait, no.
I think we are.
I know.
Wait, I got the perfect way.
It's hard.
Okay,
It's
okay.
difficult.
So, in Home Alone 2, you have Macaulay Culkin watching a movie, correct? It would be like if he is watching that movie and they decided to make that whole movie feature length and release it to the public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could have just said that.
Yeah, so basically, this is the movie Andy watched.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
To
That is-
get him
that-
to buy
So now,
want the toy.
what I want to know
Yes.
is, are they going to be super brave, and are they going to make it like 1994 styles of
Yeah.
CGI animation?
No, have you like the
Have you
Have
first-
you
That would
seen
be
it?
great.
No, Andy is reused like 14 times in
In the
that
original?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
with the parties
like,
and
as all his
everything.
friends
Oh, you saw
and
that
everything,
Honest trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah, all of
Andy,
all of Andy's
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy's friends are just Andy's
different
model.
shirts.
Yep.
with different
no,
hats.
like if you look at the animation that they just released one Buzz Lightyear photo, it's so clean.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
No,
So,
I
like,
bet.
yeah.
I bet. I mean, I just
Like
think
the
it'd be
animation
funny.
of a Toy Story gets better and better each movie.
But like, if you're talking about in universe, it's just kind of funny because you like. I mean, it's not animated, so I get it. But
Well, technically, I think they said in universe it's live action, but
Yes.
we're not even
Yeah,
going
I
to
know,
go
I
there.
it's
know.
live action
Yeah,
for
that's-
them.
we're
Yeah,
done.
we're
We're
gonna
done.
do
This is
that.
getting too.
Andy.
It's getting too mad.
Toy-
Too
okay,
For
confusing.
Andy, it's live action.
Just to end it, Toy Story is the greatest Pixar movie of all time.
It's definitely. It's got to be one of the stronger like first films.
Yes, ever to come out really because
From a studio.
yeah, because it was experimental, completely experimental.
Yeah.
they wanted to do something with more polygon shapes, more hard. They couldn't.
Well, they
really
couldn't
animate
make humans. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't. That's why Andy is repeated over and over again. They used them as sparingly as possible.
Mhm.
Toys,
Right.
hard shaped objects were easier to use.
Now the craziest thing is that the toys in Kingdom Hearts 3 look better than the toys in the first film.
Yeah.
Yep. In a
Yeah.
video game.
In
Yeah.
a video game.
I actually wanted to get that game because of that.
Oh, it's awesome,
It
yeah.
looks so insane. It's so ridiculous.
It's only 3 of those games, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
never played any
well,
of
no,
them.
hold on. Hold on.
What, that's a whole
That's a
different
whole
thing.
other
I just need to know.
Yeah.
I just
That's
need to
a
know. Is it
podcast.
3 of them? Just
There are 3 mainline games.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
There are like- there are
12.
PSP.
There are
12.
like there's like literally 12
There's like
games.
the PSP.
Okay, I only care about the
there's
main
the
games.
combated
I wouldn't get
ones.
all
There's
that.
also the crossover.
You can't play the main without the others.
You can't. Yeah.
Oh, they trash.
Yeah.
They trash.
You got I mean, you can watch video. You can watch the movies, quote unquote. People put the
cutscenes.
on
It,
YouTube.
it
Yeah.
works. I haven't played all of them, but I get most of it. Anyway,
Okay.
what about you, Preston? Favorite?
My favorite would definitely be Incredibles. Spoiled by us talking about the list that I sent to everybody earlier this week. Essentially, why I choose that movie is because you, around 2004, when this movie came out, had not the superhero culture that we have today. So superheroes were starting to get big. You had X-Men coming out. You had the Spider-Man movies coming out. So superheroes were finally being taken seriously, unlike when like you had the old like Lou Ferrigno Hulk series and everything.
Well, it was Steel which destroyed the superhero franchise for a while.
Hey man, watch your mouth, bro.
And
Steel destroyed it. No, literally, it's
Steel?
The part where in order to like escape the warehouse or whatever before it blows up, you had to shoot a free throw. You can't tell me that wasn't a
They
great
had
scene.
Shaq as Steel.
Yeah.
I don't actually know
You
who
never
Steel
seen it?
is.
Steel,
I've never even heard of
He's like
this.
the fully armored guy, which basically runs around with a hammer. That's basically his power.
I've never
He's
heard.
like super strong.
Never
Yeah.
heard of this.
DC
Yeah,
and-
Shaquille O'Neal.
It basically destroyed the superhero franchise. But this
Wow.
could be another topic entirely.
Hey,
Yeah.
the chick in the wheelchair was hot though.
Anyways, back to Incredibles.
Hispanic.
Hispanic?
I think so. Yeah,
don't remember.
I can't remember. I've seen it.
Oh
something.
my
They all look
gosh.
alike.
Back to Incredibles. Yes.
So basically my point being is superheroes, they were still hard to come by. And this film, it was set in a great time, kind of like a 1960s era of things. And like how it's done, that superheroes were outlawed because of, get this, insurance reasons and because
Yes.
of lawyers.
Yep.
That
and they can make you see as to
yes,
why.
the
Well-
world makes sense.
Yeah.
And even as a child, you're like, oh, this makes sense that
Right.
they would outlaw them. And
Yeah.
and like just how it's taken, and he's Bob Parr sitting there one in his glory days, and races past this, and there's like the affair that like the wife thinks he's cheating,
Right.
and that's the real reason she
This
goes
film,
after.
This film has so many concepts that are so not children's film concepts.
Absolutely,
A
yeah.
guy tries to kill himself in the first 4 minutes of the film.
Yep.
And he is saved
and then
sues.
sues a guy because he got saved.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean,
You know what's
it
funny? That's
definitely
happened a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of children's films, and this is what makes them the best, is because they relate to adults and to children. Like all the adult stuff
Yeah.
went way over kids' heads.
Yeah.
But like you're still like, oh, he punches things. Oh, he has ice powers and all this stuff. And I mean, the casting was incredible
Yeah.
on that movie. And then two, I didn't realize until recently that was it Die Hard 3 was Samuel L. Jackson in Die Hard 3.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
there is an entire scene taken out of Die Hard 3 put into Incredibles when he's going, I am thirsty. I am going to do this. In Die Hard 3, he has, I have a call. I am going to take it with a gun pointed at literally verbatim lines. I just watched Die Hard, the series, for the first time like 2 months ago. And so I don't give me that look. So I just watched it. And then as I'm watching it, I go, oh my gosh, they literally took this line for line and made Samuel L. Jackson do it again.
That's
and
awesome.
so, yeah, it adds like, there's so many great things about this movie, the powers, the midlife crisis, everything. 2 still way underplayed in my idea. I don't like 2.
Number 2?
Yes,
Yeah.
because 2
I
did
didn't
the
care
same
for that
thing
much. Yeah.
over
Yep.
again. I mean, it's that secret villain that that you're yeah.
They
So
just
I
had it.
listed,
It's incredible.
every one of the films that had a twist villain
Okay.
because I was like, there are too many twist villains.
It's so predictable some of the times too.
Yeah.
They do it too often.
Yeah. No, it's way too often.
But like honestly, I was expecting 2 to be completely different because with the way it ends, you think they're going to be well recognized, well received. They're finally accepted, and then it goes back to square one.
Yeah.
I mean, in a
And
way,
That's what happens when they do sequels 20 years later. They kind of do the exact same
Yeah,
shit.
because it's just like they don't know what
shoulda-
to do.
They should have played into it and made it 20 years later.
Yeah, because I was expecting that. And
Yes.
Brad Bird, who directed the first one and the second one, pretty much said after the first one, I will not make another unless I have a great story.
Unless
Yeah.
the perfect script rolls across my desk. Is
And
basically
it
what he
was not
said.
the perfect script. And like, granted, I liked the villain. There was a lot of comedy
Who was the
things.
villain again?
It was Screen Slayer. Like, I like the hypnotizing
yeah.
thing.
I did
And
like
then you
that,
had these
yeah.
up and coming heroes go, and I liked all that. But the thing I didn't like is, you basically have the same exact story play out of like, I need to go do this so superheroes can come back.
Right.
And I can't do this. Oh, said person will help me. Oh, said person is villain. Same
I'm
exact
yes,
more
formula.
powerful than the heroes.
And-
I'm a normal person.
yes.
I'm using technology to become
Yes.
more powerful than
and,
the heroes.
and the other thing that was frustrating to me was how, like, in the first film, Bob Parr needs to keep his involvement with this stuff a secret,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just trying to relive the glory days, and it's seen as it's almost played off as a bad thing because he's letting his obsession with the old days cloud his judgment about his current life, right?
Mhm.
It's lowering his quality of life because he's too obsessed with it. But when Helen Parr obsesses over the old days and tries to relive it and goes back to be a superhero, he's got to be nothing but supportive and good. And it's totally, Bob, you're being so unreasonable by not wanting me to do this.
It's hard to be a white male. Let's say that.
I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was that agenda or whatever.
It wasn't.
But like,
it's just.
It felt like
inconsistent.
Inconsistent, incongruous with the first film.
I will fight for that because I think you're both wrong in that sense. Because I think it truly comes down to the first film. They're seen as super again, and now she is basically doing it because he is collateral damage and everything. And I get that he did destroy quite a bit of things. Her power is less destructive. They didn't choose Frozone because his power is more.
She
destructive.
crashed a train.
That is true. But that was after they brought her in and not before. So her record before could have been better. No matter what superheroes are going to be destructive. My point being is I think that every Pixar sequel picks up the sidekick kind of deal. It picks up someone else. Like you're saying, you have Cars 2. Focuses on Mater. Okay. You have Toy Story 2. Focuses like more on other characters than just Woody and Buzz. Like Jesse. And so every Pixar sequel moves the focus more to a sidekick rather than the main character. So it gets more fleshed out universe. Yeah, and that's what they were doing in this. It's not anything like, oh, they have to do this. It's like, no, we're trying to flesh out the universe more and get characters that didn't have all the screen time last time to have more screen time. Essentially,
I went there for Jack and Frozone.
Yeah,
because the best scene in the movie for me was Jack versus the raccoon.
Yeah,
I mean, that was incredible.
That was funny. That was pretty funny. But to me, it felt like we got to put this in here for the children's.
Yep. Hey,
look at the funny baby! Look at the funny baby in the film. Give us money. That's what it felt like.
Well,
to me.
They did have a ton of merchandise after of the raccoon and Jack.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said,
one thing I have always loved about Pixar is, like you said before, is like you could go there as a parent and still get something out of it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, not all the time, not on all their films.
I think the only one is like The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah.
There's like nothing for adults. Maybe not.
Because
I
now have
uncharitable. But
I used to go to Pixar movies by myself just to watch them and enjoy them. But now that I have nieces and nephews, I roll my eyes half the time when I'm stuck watching a movie that they're cheering like crazy or talking throughout.
Yeah.
And it finally gets to a part where parents can understand. It's like, okay, this is for me. Yeah. Because when the kids are laughing and having fun, it's just like you start to feel out of place.
You're like, if the children are laughing, then it's poop jokes.
Yeah, then it's nothing for you. But then it's finally you hear the adults start to laugh at one part that the kids are just laughing along because
I'm not gonna lie, I did laugh at the poop joke in Soul. I did laugh at the poop joke in Soul. So
I'm trying to remember which one.
It's where they're in the spirit form and they're in the hall of everything or whatever, and there's the pizza. Never mind. It's not spoilers.
They eat the pizza in it.
And it just
just
goes out the other.
That's what was funny to you.
I mean, I laughed. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it was the only funny.
Passes.
I was like, okay, that was a poop joke. I found funny.
I mean, I don't know. I was kind of laughing hard when he was asking where it was. Yeah, like is this HE double hockey six?
Honestly, I'll just say anything 22. Anything 22, I found funny.
22 is.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
It was good. It was good. Anyway,
we were still on Incredibles.
We're still on Incredibles.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, I didn't like. Okay, I always thought the first one was overrated. It was enjoyable.
What?
It's an enjoyable movie. I do like the villain. I do like the characters, but for me, it wasn't like you have to see The Incredibles. I mean, like, dude, I'd be in school as elementary.
No, you have to. Just like with Finding Nemo, you have to.
You are
just like with
dude,
Wall-E,
it's like
you have to.
It's a good movie.
Look,
I just thought it was overrated.
You look at all the superhero stories that we have today. There's so many movies, and it still stands out as a unique story. How do you overlook that? Do you want a blue light in the sky like every other superhero movie?
This is a Fast and the Furious fan, so everything needs to be a superhero movie.
Look at
it. The portals in the sky in every movie. Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, don't knock the
every single one tries to rip off of the Ghostbusters portal in the sky now.
Yeah.
Oh, so Ghostbusters started that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of portal in the sky.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I'll have to look that up.
R.I.P.D.
They were the ones that basically
Avengers. Age of Ultron, I'm gonna count
Wait, is
that.
R.I.P.D. a comic book movie though?
Yeah, it is.
It's based off. I didn't know that.
I think it is.
It's just a bunch of. The
looked
the
really
new
stupid.
Ghostbusters portal in the sky.
Yeah, they
every
did it
movie
too,
has
with
a
a dance
portal
off.
in the sky, and it's
Yeah,
trash.
and Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
Portal in the Sky. But I did find that one unique.
Doctor Strange.
Oh,
is
Doctor Strange, that was great.
Doctor
though.
Strange is the best in the MCU, in my opinion.
Well, I've always loved him as a hero to begin with, but
Black
let's
Panther.
go. We're not talking Marvel.
No,
We're not talking Marvel.
I had to do that because my
But yes,
blackness.
you've got to see The Incredibles
you
because
can't help yourself.
it is a great movie. It really is. Like you said, I mean, the only place to go for a unique superhero experience now is basically like manga or The Incredibles.
No, maybe I should just watch the first Incredibles again.
Yeah.
Yes, watch it again.
It will be a different movie if you haven't seen it in a long
I
time.
haven't seen it in a long
and
time.
considering too, like the soundtrack, it just feels so authentic. I think it was actually recorded to tape,
I think you're right.
which they stopped recording tape like in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
You know, some people still record a tape, but it's like a novelty.
Yeah.
But they were like, we want this to sound like a 60s film. And they went super hard into that.
So the audio sounds a little more crisp and it's got that crackle to it.
That's Disney, right? Disney
Pixar.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Both are on Disney
definitely.
Plus.
All right,
yeah.
cool. So I'll make sure not to watch
Actually, almost every Pixar movie I believe is on Pixar.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think
so.
They're not
Everything.
under the Pixar category. You have to separately look. Like I couldn't find
Yeah,
Finding Nemo. I found
yeah.
Finding Dory, and then I was like, I went to Finding Dory, and it was like, oh, Finding
They
Nemo's here too.
they like cycle the list in the top.
I
So
wish
you-
they would just have them all as an option.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I don't know why
shuffle
they.
through.
I don't know why
That
they
is
don't.
weird. Yeah,
Hold
I
on,
didn't know that.
Because they're
King
all
is
there.
just Disney, right?
What's that?
Lion King is just Disney, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
just
Disney.
Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the list I sent you is literally all the Pixar movies.
Well, how come like almost all animated movies have like a murder? It's like it's a
Okay.
kid movie, but people
No,
were just getting
fun-
murked
no,
left
fun-
and right.
Fun fact: statistically, per like main characters in movies and per how many characters there are, animated movies have more death in them than action movies.
Because you can get away with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I mean,
it's-
how many people died in The Incredibles?
Oh, it's like 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a list of all these dead, deceased
Yep.
Yeah.
that he had personally killed.
No,
Yep.
I mean on screen deaths.
Yeah,
yeah,
is
yeah.
like
like
20.
Yeah.
where they hit like explosions of the guards and stuff. Like they're not
Yeah.
even like light deaths; they're gruesome.
Yeah.
honestly.
Messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, was
messed
it A
up
Bug's
stuff.
Life when the bird takes whatever the
Oh,
Kevin
Hopper?
Spacey?
Yeah, Hopper, yeah.
I'm about to call him Dennis Hopper. I was like, it's not Dennis Hopper. Hopper. It just feeds him to the birds. Even today, I'm like, man, that's scary.
It's
Yeah,
brutal.
That is
That's
scary.
It's brutal.
graphic.
And,
So-
and I would say that's one of the more kid-friendly
Yes, yeah.
of the films. I just watched that again last week, I think.
love that
just to
movie.
refresh.
I love that movie.
I mean, and it's really good, but I was like, yeah, I mean, it's more of a kid's film than it is an
Well,
adult
I mean,
film.
it's definitely an early Pixar movie. It was
It
the
is-
second
it was
one.
98,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's the Seven Samurai with bugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bruh, okay, I haven't seen that, but I've seen the Denzel Washington version. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
have a point, yeah.
Or Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
or
the Magnificent
whatever.
The
Yeah.
best one.
So yeah, I
Which
don't
fun
know.
fact is that Seven Samurai was actually the Magnificent Seven, which they renamed because the Magnificent Seven was taken by America afterwards for their Western film.
Wait, I thought Akira Kurosawa did the Seven Samurai before. The
It was,
Magnificent
but it was
Seven.
called the Magnificent Seven
Oh,
originally.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
and then he changed it to Seven Samurai just because, well, America took his
Yeah.
concept and he was like, you know what? Let's just have samurai there.
fair,
It sounds cooler.
To be fair, what's so funny is how well the tropes of cowboys and samurai mix with each other.
Yeah, they're perfectly correlating with one
It
another.
is like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
So-
they mix well.
Yes, I don't know. It's funny. I mean, obviously the Mandalorian
Because they're the lone wanderers normally, and when
Yeah.
you group them together, it's always a fun mixed bag.
or you can put them in a posse and it still works.
Yeah.
And you can have outlaws. You can have people that
well,
are
because they were outlaws. Cowboys were outlaws. That's what they were called. They were called cowboys.
not
yeah.
always.
Yeah, they were the outlaws. And same thing with like the Ronin samurai were the wandering
They were
samurai.
just cattle.
called Ronin.
Cowboys were just cattle drivers.
That's allegedly they were primarily like Billy the Kid is considered a cowboy.
Well,
I mean-
he might have worked as a cowboy,
well, he was in the beginning. Most were cattle runners in the beginning, and they just veered off to make money in a different way.
Maybe I don't know. That's a different.
Back to Pixar.
Yeah, you got me on it.
Pixar.
I'm like, this is not Pixar.
Mention it in the comments.
Evan, did you
if
say
know.
your favorite?
I haven't said mine yet.
Okay.
Damn,
yeah.
Steel.
There's 23 films in total.
It's hard to pick.
It's so hard to pick, and the crazy thing is like we can only name like one bad film,
yeah.
which is impressive.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of meh films in there that are like just
and there's some
okay.
that just don't sit well with certain people. Like for
Right.
me, it was Soul. Even though
Right.
you really like it,
Yeah.
apparently we'll find out.
and
that,
we'll talk about it. But like, I think that I try to gauge like my favorite by what do I rewatch the most, like what do I identify with or whatever. And it's kind of a tie for me. And I hate doing this.
Toy Story 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's why I had trouble. I was like, you know what?
It's-
I'll just say Onward because it's the most recent, and I actually did like it. But Bug's Life for me was, and Wall-E and Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
It's just like,
No, they're
crap,
all great.
How do I pick?
I think for me, it's either Ratatouille
Ooh, I love that.
or Finding Nemo.
I saw Ratatouille for like the first time 5 years ago. Great movie.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's got
Anyone can be a chef.
great score. Yeah. And the message is great. The structure of the story is interesting.
Yeah.
And it's different because you have a lot of especially Disney, right? In general, Pixar is not Disney, but they have great villains. Disney's villains category is filled with awesome and memorable villains.
The animated, both the Disney animated and the Pixar
and
animated.
Pixar,
Yeah.
right? Pixar, you've got Sid, you've got Hopper, you've got the Prospector.
You naming off villains?
Yes, you have the Randall. You and also the
yes.
guy who runs the factory.
Yep.
You have like Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo does not have a villain.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the fish that killed the family is the villain.
Well, same thing with
Spoiler.
Onward technically doesn't have a villain.
Right.
Yeah,
Technically,
that's
no, yeah.
honestly one thing I find
And
fascinating.
it works. And it works, right?
Because it's the journey primarily that you love.
But-
it's not so much the fact that they're being targeted by somebody.
But here's the thing about Ratatouille. The villain changes at the third act.
Yeah.
The villain goes from being the head chef. I can't remember his name right now.
Let's call him Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey. Boyardee.
That's what he was. He was basically turning everything
Right.
into a
He was-
fast food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was
Evil.
evil guy, right? But and at least
It turns into the restaurant connoisseur, the one who's just who brought down
Anton Ego.
Yeah, who
turns into Anton Ego.
who originally brought down the restaurant
Right.
from 5 to 4 stars.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just interesting that late. I mean, they do mention Anton Ego like right at the very beginning of the film.
Yeah.
But like there is no mention of him basically the entire
Until he gets the news that it's coming back up and
yes.
the restaurant's
And
building its name.
To me, like that structure is really interesting. And I also like any kind of story that's like two people changing each other and not necessarily having a villain. It's just more about the interpersonal conflict and those people changing and becoming better.
Dory and Marlin.
Dory and Marlin in Ratatouille, it's Remy and Linguini. And if and even in the newest film Soul, it's actually I can't remember the main character's name.
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe and 22. And it's not about a villain. It's just about two people.
But the problem is
changing
they
each
introduce
other.
a villain and then do nothing with them. That's the thing I had an issue with. Is I was feeling it was going to be a villain, but
Somebody hasn't seen it.
yeah.
Right.
That was one of my issues.
Well, and I mean, Pixar is all about that like buddy system. Like
Yeah.
every single there's like some of them have more of a group, but you got Mike Wazowski and Sully. You have Wally and
and Woody.
Eve. Like
and
it's
they
a
normally
lot
don't
of-
get along in the beginning.
Yes.
just
But
like
there is a
Mike
villain. There's a
Wazowski.
villain in Wall-E.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is a villain.
But of course, it's a twist because
The villain's dead.
Every
Yeah.
other Pixar film has to be
Yeah.
a twist.
Well, I mean, the villain is
The AI.
not really a twist. They have a lot of subtle hints all the way through the film. There's actually, if you look at the portraits of each captain, the AI gets
Yep.
closer and closer and closer.
Oh, I
and
did
each-
love that shot
yes.
though, where it goes from like live action people, and then they slowly animated them
Yes.
to
Yes.
the what it is
Yes.
now, the overweight fat people who don't leave their seats. I love that, the future of mankind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lazy, doing
But-
nothing.
And that's basically what they're saying is the AI kept getting closer and closer and
Yep.
closer until it was like taking over kind of deal.
Right.
And so it was seen, but you just have to see it in retrospect rather than the first time around.
right.
The AI was the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of regret not watching.
It's a great movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's really good.
It's an amazing movie, especially since there's like no dialogue in the first 30 minutes of the film, and you care for Wally from the beginning.
If you think Up, like in the 15 minutes of the beginning that didn't do any of the dialogue, I mean, this was something else. Like
better than Up.
Yeah.
No. I don't know about better than Up.
Wally,
it's not more
I'm saying,
emotional than Up.
It's not because it's a robot.
What I'm saying though is the fact that they can go that long in a kids movie without any dialogue is impressive
and keep you enthralled throughout.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a movie I need to go back and rewatch as an adult because I haven't seen it again.
I had to rewatch it
It's
for that.
interesting.
Yeah, I had to rewatch it, and I loved it because I saw it again just this week, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is still one of the greats."
I'm gonna check that out.
It's quite good. I mean, and you have even in the second act, like there's not that much dialogue. It's just them flying around the ship and going like getting chased around by other robots, and there's other crazy robots, and like. And it's a lot of visual storytelling, but there is, obviously, it's probably the preachiest film in the catalog.
Well, take care of your planet. Yeah, the reason why the planet died was because we didn't take care of it. That kind of stuff.
Isn't that what Wally is on, like a broken Earth or whatever?
Yeah. And so, I mean, there's some level of that where you're like, oh, maybe it's too preachy or whatever. But I think there's a lot of it meaningful to say in terms of like consumerism and convenience. And
if you want to see something about that, watch Idiocracy.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's literally
President Camacho.
Right. It's literally Idiocracy, but you don't have the bank of. Well, you kind of do. You kind of. It's like the bank of
the mounds.
The Carl's
of
Jr.
Trash,
The Carl's Jr.
Yeah, the Brondo.
The bank of Carl's Jr. where it says, "Welcome to Carl's Jr. F you."
Yeah. So it's got that. It just does it in a different way. The world's completely destroyed, and then everyone is taken up into space, and they become completely lazy because the robots do everything for them, that they become nothing but overweight. Heck, their bodies are so misshapen. They have small arms, small legs, because they don't use them.
The T-Rexes.
They have no need to use them.
I love in the end. So when I first saw the film in 2008,
yes,
I think when
you're
it came
correct.
out, they get out of the spaceship, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're finally back home. Like we're gonna plant pizza." And they're like, "Oh, we got pizza seeds or
we're
whatever."
We're gonna have pizza plants.
Yeah, and my friend turned to me in the film and he goes, "They're boned."
Yeah.
So I still think about that.
I'm sorry, a pizza plant? That sounds, man.
Exactly.
That sounds
exactly.
Like
you would be one of the people there that would be like, "Oh, that sounds good. Let's just grow it."
You can plant pizza. You can grow it, bruh.
They don't actually.
They don't have
They're
the
just
ability.
dumb.
They're just
Because he was watching, reading about food, and you can grow food on trees.
Oh,
and he was like, "So we can grow a food like pizza." And it's just like, ooh, he's in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but it's good. It's got a great post-credit sequence as well. Yep. And it's got the song by Peter Gabriel at the end. It's pretty good. I like Peter Gabriel.
I think I'm gonna watch that movie today. I'm gonna watch
that's actually something I find fascinating. Is like most of us can agree that the early Pixar movies are by far the greatest, except for you like Soul. I don't. I like Onward. You don't.
They had a period, I think, right up after
with like Brave and a few of them, which were like really rocky.
Right after Up. So right after, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I like Up, but I like the first 15 minutes of Up, and I don't really care about the rest of the film.
I did not care about the dog Doug, and I did not care about the kid.
Okay, I would disagree, and sadly. I mean, the Academy of Motion Pictures, Motion Pictures
sounds racist.
would disagree.
It sounded bad for some reason. Motion Pickers, excuse me.
We're not talking about cotton here, man.
No.
Oh god!
I don't think I'm gonna edit that out. It's still funny.
The Academy of Motion Pictures would disagree because it was in the contention for an Oscar for Best Picture. It was
They gave Black Panther an Oscar nomination for Best Picture.
Yeah.
But here,
look, The Last of Us won every single award. They swept it away when fans
Crash
don't really
Best
care
Picture
for it.
You
buy the Oscars now. You buy the Academy Awards. They mean nothing. And this is honestly a podcast with an
even I thought Brokeback Mountain was better than Crash.
My point. Okay, my point being though, it was the first computer animated thing to get in that, and to my knowledge, it was the last computer animated movie to get in that category.
Toy Story 3.
Did it really?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, my knowledge was not fulfilled.
Okay.
Toy Story all day.
Either like I think Up had like it should have just been a short film, in my opinion, because the rest of the film, it's great. It is a good film.
I didn't care for the finding of the bird thing.
Right.
Because it's just like this guy has spent his entire life looking for this bird, and this annoying kid, stumbles across it, and it becomes friends with the old guy.
I mean, that's part of the joke, right?
Yeah.
But I cared more about the relationship between Ellie and the main character.
I love the end when he looks through her dream journal, and finds out that she had her life that she always wanted.
Right.
I mean, that's far more impactful. And she's like, I spent an hour to get to this part.
And I will say like that. So that film was, I think, written and directed by Pete Docter.
Yes.
Who did Toy Story. Who also did? I don't know if he might not have been the director.
Yes,
but I think he was a writer on it.
So Pete Docter was at the very
still?
beginning of Pixar.
Yes.
But yeah, he didn't direct for a long time.
Right. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think Up might have been his first direct. I'm not sure.
I've seen that movie I've seen Up one time, but I've seen like the opening like 20, 30 times. That really is mostly like the best part of the movie.
Right, it is. Well, then you go from Up, and
but
then
it's not bad though.
I think the next one he did was Inside Out.
Yes. Well, I don't know about next one, but it is his film.
Right, and then you go to Soul, and actually Up, Inside Out, and Soul have very similar themes to them, but I feel like Soul is actually the most developed version of the theme, in my opinion, and to where the entire film actually incorporates it. Where Inside Out, it was also very good. I liked Inside Out as well.
Yeah.
But Up was like the seed of that idea, and he like got it out in 15 minutes and was like, okay, what do we do with the rest of the film? Dogs. Okay, funny dogs. Kids love dogs.
Wearing necklaces that say what they're thinking.
But yeah, and then after Up, you had Toy Story 3, which I guess was good, but it was a sequel, right? It was a sure thing, I guess you could say.
It was good.
It was great.
It was good. You had Cars 2, which was obviously bad.
Yeah,
Brave,
bad.
which was okay. Monsters University, which I like, but it's not the best
No,
film.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Monsters University, in my opinion, is the funniest Pixar movie, hands down.
Maybe.
See, I'm about to rewatch it again because I enjoyed it, but I thought the first one was just
no.
Yeah, the
like first one
was
is better
great.
emotionally, but that film
Yeah.
to me is the only true comedy film in terms of everything because it focused less on the story and more on the comedy of
Well,
everything.
they
It was a
basically
college movie.
They did a college movie.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
absolutely.
and that's the only thing that saved it from being just another college film was the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah, and so to me, it is the funniest movie, and that's why it stands out to me being awesome because you have Art,
you
the
that.
purple little creature with the two legs.
I can't go back to jail.
Yes, everything, and then the mom listening to just
the death
screamo,
metal.
and that movie has such memorable moments. Even though a lot of people might go, "Oh yeah, it wasn't like the best," but it's like, no, that wasn't the point. It wasn't supposed to be Monsters Inc. again, like Incredibles did it twice.
Right.
It's like it is a separate movie, separate feel, and it shows how they really worked their way up into the
and
company.
how they became friends and close together. But I've always had issues with prequels. I think Star Wars kind of killed it for me, but I've always had issues with prequels. Anything that tries to do this is how it all started instantly starts rubbing me the wrong way.
Yeah, I feel you on
Because it's just like, I don't want to know how it all started. I think my imagination is far better than what you guys are going to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's true. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that Pixar has been doing like better lately, or like doing okay, or like do you feel like the last maybe 5-10 years has been really strong for them?
I think it's been a little rockier than anything. I mean, I enjoyed Onward just because I can really relate to it. I mean, I still that crashing the van when he sacrificed his van for his brother still hits me far more than anything that happened in Soul.
Yeah.
But Soul apparently is a strong movie for your perspective. And I would love to hear what you end up having to say when you see it, Preston.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
what
one of
she
those.
said.
It's just one of those.
I'm sorry.
Things that it's rocky in the fact that it seems like they're all hit or miss depending on who's watching them. Because back in the day, it's just like you'd see it and everyone would love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the fact that the nostalgia of Pixar has kind of.
I was about to say, is it a fatigue?
Yeah.
Like that Pixar feeling? We've all had it before.
Yeah. We've seen it over and over again, just in new clothing, and it's not fresh. It's not unique.
Maybe.
But I do know Pixar is bringing in new filmmakers right now. They're trying to start new stories.
Yeah.
And I think with the new Buzz Lightyear coming out, like that's exciting. And like one, it's a prequel. But two, it's like
Well, it's not
Dude,
exactly a
Hold on,
prequel.
which
It's kind of
one?
like
Which one
how
is a
Rogue
prequel?
One
The
was.
Buzz Lightyear.
Okay,
So,
didn't Pixar, Disney, whatever, say they were going to stop making sequels? or
exactly,
prequels?
and that's where I was
Yeah.
going.
But that's the thing. It's like I don't see that as a prequel. Like Rogue One,
Buzz
I would
Lightyear? No, I
say
don't
is
think so.
not a prequel to Star Wars because it doesn't exactly establish those characters.
that's true.
That's the thing. It was like when you take characters who are already established, which your imagination has gone far with, I don't think you should do anything with them. I think you should leave them be because people's imaginations, you can touch around them. Like the reason why Solo lost money is nobody cared about Han Solo's origin.
And then they
Right.
just
It's-
kept giving you like, you know, small things.
So when it comes
what's your name? Han Solo. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
don't
the
care
thing.
about
When it
that.
comes to
Stupid.
prequels, nobody cares about how those characters got there because we got the story of them there.
Well, I would disagree. I think a prequel is good if it takes a character that was not a big part of the movie.
like Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
That, like, we all loved Boba Fett coming out
Yes.
now. And yes, it's not a prequel.
Oh, he
but
came out?
Wait, come on, wait a minute. When?
But you get what I'm saying. It's
Yes,
just like that's not
yeah.
exactly a
So
prequel. That's
you're
not a
right.
Yeah.
sequel. It's a spin-off. It would be considered a
Yeah,
spin-off.
that's a
Like
spin-off.
this Buzz Lightyear movie is considered a spin-off,
Yeah.
even though it takes
Nah, that's
place
true.
I agree.
before the Toy Story movies. It's a spin-off because it's not about any of those characters. It's not about Andy. It's about Andy's inspiration for getting the toy. It's not about the toys themselves. So it's a spin-off. I'm okay with
Okay.
spin-offs.
See,
Yeah.
what I
Just
never,
not
what I never liked
prequels.
about prequels also is because, like, let's say we get a Martin,
Midichlorians.
huh?
Midichlorians.
Mandalorians.
Midichlorians.
He's talking about the Star Wars prequel.
Yeah. It's just,
Anyway, it's when they have a character that's already big. You've seen it. Let's say a Martin Riggs movie,
Yeah.
Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon.
Mm.
You have them 4 straight movies, and then say, okay, let's give them a prequel. We had them for so
Yeah.
long. We kind of know everything about them.
Yeah,
we
we've
really
heard
need to
his
go
story.
back just to like
Yeah.
have him in like the war or something.
yeah,
It's
take
like,
him to
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows his personality.
Exactly.
What we cared about was the fact that how he was insane. It's one of those things. It's just like when you do prequels, it's really hard. I mean, I didn't care for Monsters U because it was a prequel. The
Yeah.
entire time, I kept realizing it was just like they are already going to start working together. They're going to have a falling out as their friends, and then it's just
it's cliche.
Yeah,
you kinda
yeah.
know what's
you
gonna
know
happen.
Yeah.
what's
I
going to
still
happen.
enjoyed it, but
It's
yeah.
basically like having a spoiler at that point because
Yeah.
you know where everything's going.
Yeah.
I don't care for spoilers, but if I know where the story's headed,
Mhm.
I'd rather go to where the story's headed. I don't need to see how 2 buddies became 2 buddies. I don't
That's
need
true.
to.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't need to see how someone got their last name.
Right.
I don't.
And like I said, I think that for Monsters U, the only thing that really saves it from being really mundane is the ending.
Yeah.
Just that last 10 minutes, I think takes it up a notch. And I like the message is kind of different, you know.
Yeah.
Just because you know didn't finish college or whatever doesn't mean you can't do something. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more to that film than that. But I don't know. I agree. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
okay.
My point to your question, though, is Pixar lean too much into the sequels nowadays.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like I want
Well, because
this-
it worked
I-
with Toy Story.
Yes.
Well, and
that's
out
why.
of the last 5 years, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've 8 films in the last 5 years.
Yes.
which is a lot. It's more than they historically put out before.
Yeah, because it used to be like 1 every 2 years.
And 4 of those were sequels.
And
Yikes.
that's my
And you
point.
said there was 8. Oh, you said 9.
Yeah,
Right?
8 in the last 5
Half
years.
of them were sequels.
Half
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
were sequels.
And I think that that's been bumpy because it's halting original thought because
Yes.
they're going franchises, and that's what made Pixar great in the beginning. Is it's
Mhm.
all these very unique universes.
Except for Toy Story 2 was the 3rd film they made.
Yes,
but
I
then they
know.
didn't make another sequel until
Yeah.
Toy Story 3.
because
Yes.
they realized
Wait, are
that they
you
needed
sure?
to complete it.
Yeah. But that's my thing is it's like, okay, they came back and made all these sequels because they needed franchises and everything and money. And I get it. But at the same time, it's like Pixar is innovative, or it should be. And that's why they're bringing in this new thought, these new people, creative people giving Spark Shorts,
Yeah.
which on
Yeah.
Disney Plus basically is their first chance of making these. And I don't know if you watched some of the Spark Shorts.
I've watched
They're-
a couple.
Yeah.
Some are okay, some are good.
There was like 1 or 2 that are honestly amazing, where I thought the animation style was so unique. Like the story might not have been there.
That's one
but,
thing is like you start to see repeated assets in the Pixar movies, like in Ratatouille and in Soul and in Onward, it's all basically drawn the same way. I mean, Linguini looks like the main character in Onward.
Yeah, he
looks
does.
like the
does.
in Soul. I mean, and also the mother in Onward looks like the green girl in Inside Out, with the same facial, same glasses,
you know what,
same
bro?
nose.
I was looking at her like, yo, why does she look so familiar?
Yeah. I think, is it the green? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, disgust.
Yeah,
Or not
yeah,
disgust.
yeah.
The sad one.
Sadness.
Yeah, the blue.
Yeah, that
blue,
looked just
blue,
like
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yup.
That's the thing, is like they're all repeated assets, and that's
Yeah.
something that's just like, come on,
I
give me
would like,
something more.
yeah, I would like to see a different style. Like, I wish they would do like a Spider-Verse thing, where Spider-Verse has a
that was
completely
great.
different
Well,
sort
it
of
was done in a
style.
comic book, if you've ever read those comic books, graphic comic books where it's on the
Yeah.
computer,
Yeah.
and you like go to the next
Yep.
panel and it actually shows the
Yes,
pow and
yes.
everything pop up.
Yeah.
That's basically was done in that style,
Right.
just in an actual visual format.
Right.
So it mixed both together, which made it great.
It feels like what Pixar is kind of heading towards now is just this very, like, I don't know what you would even call it, like this hyper realistic non-realism, where, like, I mean, the last couple of films from like Toy Story 4 onward to Soul is like they look unbelievable. I mean, when you look
Yeah.
at the objects look real, and there's this realism, but you're watching toys run around,
or
in a-
you're watching the inside of someone's head,
Right.
Or the magical ghouls and monsters
Right.
casting spells.
So I mean I think that's kind of like, I don't know, I'm almost willing to see something either go full realistic or go full cartoony or do something
Yeah.
totally out of the
Well,
blue.
You never
And
go
that's
for
what I'm
realistic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying with
Tropic
the
Thunder.
Spark shorts, and you see like there's tons of different animation styles in that,
Yeah.
and like my
Even a
absolute-
hand drawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, my
Go back to like
yes, my favorite on that one actually was it was the comic style one where it's like the boy falling. You guys didn't watch all
No.
these, did
I
you?
haven't
Which
seen
one?
it.
It was the boy falling for the girl, kind of drawn in a comic style of thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Yes.
see that one.
I
need to watch
it
them.
is awesome. Like, and
I thought your favorite would be Out.
Is that a gay joke?
No,
no, that's a short.
The short is literally about a guy coming out.
Yes.
I need to see that. I need to see that.
Right.
There's a lot of Spark shorts, and actually the one that just came out with Soul is very kid friendly, but it's awesome. I
was
love
good.
the style,
Yes.
the art style of it. I love the story of it, and like I just left so
Yeah.
happy after that one.
It's called Burrow.
yes,
Burrow. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
But and
It's
that's
good.
the thing is, I think they use that as a test ground because a lot of those people that kind of do the Spark shorts will get a movie
Yes.
later on because it's like, oh, here's the test ground. See if you can make a 5-minute, 10-minute film
Yep.
using all of our assets and our people, and then go on and make a feature film after that.
You
kinda
know
deal.
what I thought about yesterday? What I would actually like to see is a Pixar show.
Fun fact: they are coming out with a Pixar show.
Oh, are they really?
Well,
yeah, it's all
that's
based
Disney
on Doug.
Plus type of.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I never heard
Doug
that.
the dog.
yeah. Doug the dog's getting a show.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
no.
the thing. Is this,
What did
Doug
y'all
the
think
dog.
about that? Yeah, Coco's Pixar.
Yeah,
Coco was
Coco is great.
good.
Yeah,
Coco
Great
was
movie.
really. I was
Yeah.
really
I
surprised
actually-
by it.
The only thing
How
that
did that
ruined,
slip out of my head?
yeah, I forgot about that movie.
I just rewatched it.
The only thing that made me mad about it, and this is because it was in theaters, was that Frozen short at the beginning.
It's way too
It
long.
was
Which
one, that's what she said, and two, it was 22 minutes long.
What one was it? Is
If
it-
you went to theaters to
Yes.
watch Coco, there was like a 30-minute short
Yes.
of Frozen before the
But
film.
was it like what is it called?
It was
Was it Olaf's?
something.
like
Frozen
Holiday
Adventure?
Adventure? Yeah.
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Yeah. That just released on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So here's the thing
Yeah.
about
It was
that.
kind of stupid.
No,
even the
like-
kids in there was like, "Mom, where's Coco? What are we watching?"
Yeah. Well,
Like, it was the kids
They
complaining.
actually took it out after like a certain point in theaters
Yeah.
and just like didn't have a short.
Yeah, because
and
there
it
was a
was
lot
like
of
the next
complaints.
Yes,
A
because
lot
it's
of
like
complaints.
it's not your traditional 5 to 10 minute short.
Well,
and
and-
it's like
and
22
kids can only sit through
established.
so long.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the
That's
thing.
how I
They
knew it was
become
bad.
rowdy.
That's how I knew it was bad when all the kids were getting mad. Dude, I had to go to the bathroom.
And you're
That
expecting
movie was
that
already
vibe.
almost 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And then that had to add on
You know,
to
yeah.
it.
That you brought up Coco. I forgot. That's an amazingly
Coco was
well
great.
done
Yes.
movie.
I was
Awesome
actually in the
movie.
theater
Yes.
like almost about
Yeah.
to cry and everything. I
Yeah,
had to like
the
control my
grandmother.
emotions. I love
Honestly,
it.
the grandmother
Oh, yeah.
remind me so
Yeah.
much of my abuelita. Oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
much.
And the music
look-
was great too.
Oh,
she
yeah.
looks exactly like her, the hunched over, wrinkly, the basically in
Uh-huh.
control. It's just like this. Yeah, this is my
Yeah.
abuelito.
That
This is
definitely
abuelito.
that had like a very
And abuelita,
emotional
yeah.
zenith to the end of that film. I gotta say,
I thought that was like one of their best movies they did in a while.
it was
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
I loved
It
it.
was
very
Okay,
good.
yeah.
And-
Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, I
It
loved it
slipped my
way more than
mind.
Soul, Onward.
Yeah.
Like honestly, yeah, Coco. Yeah, after Toy Story, Coco's my
Well,
favorite.
yeah, and the visuals are incredible
Yes.
on that, and like
It's so colorful.
yes, and it's very true to Mexican culture.
Yes.
yes,
And getting into the colors, I love how they basically have a storyboard at Pixar just for colors themselves.
Huh.
That's actually fascinating as to where colors can dictate people's emotions
Oh, yeah.
and the pacing of the story and everything like that is
Yep.
rather fascinating.
Yep. I mean, yeah, there was even a scene in Soul. I'm not going to spoil anything, where one of the characters steps forward and the light changes,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, that was smooth." Like if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't have seen it. You know, lighting, color, all that stuff influences what you're feeling so much. And there's a book about it. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like if it's purple, someone's gonna die or something like that. It's like got a
Okay.
weird.
Yeah,
name
there's
like that.
an entire of every single color you could imagine with a word put to it as to what it means,
Right.
what it can instill in people, and how much of a percentage you can use to get away with not getting a certain emotion across.
right.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that board.
well, yeah, there's definitely like blue is calming, red is like more angry.
Well, it depends on how much red you use
Yes.
and
Exactly.
where
Yeah,
you
the
put
color
it.
and
Where
yes.
you put it. The location really matters.
And there's so much of like different colors can influence it, and I think that's why you see different characters in Pixar. Like Onward, more of a somber film, and that's why the characters I think are blue.
Yeah.
And because it's like, oh, it makes you remember like this is an emotional thing,
Yeah.
like calming, like, and
Well, and Inside Out kind of tried to veer strongly into that by making every emotion a color,
Yeah.
just because they already had the palette to go with it.
Right.
So they basically took their palette and it's like, let's make a story off of this,
Mhm.
off of what we've already created, and do something with it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. When you look at the colors too, you're like, oh yeah, that color is right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
It's just like
that is what it's supposed to look
I
like.
need to really pay attention more.
Yeah.
you start as soon as you, because that's the thing. Most people don't know that they have that, but as soon as they hear that that's a thing that they do,
Mhm.
you start to
Yeah.
actually pick out
Yeah.
just like, oh, they just introduced this color into the scene. Why? And then you can pick up just basically the tension, just like in Onward, the dragon's green face, and then it opens its mouth, it pulls
Yeah.
out a red tongue, and the fire comes out. It's just
Yeah.
like it's very
It's kind of
funny.
like
Yeah.
The Departed when was it Scorsese says, oh, whenever a character is about to die, you're going to see an X somewhere.
Huh.
Yeah, so now every time like I'll watch him like, okay, where's the X at? Where's the X? And he just picks up on the scene and like, okay, this is about to happen right here.
Huh.
So-
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah,
That's
because you
interesting.
notice like at the end of it when
I've
Matt Damon,
never seen it.
you never seen it?
Never seen it.
Have you seen the original film?
I was talking
The
about one.
Departed?
No,
sorry.
the original Departed.
Oh,
It was-
Internal Affairs.
Yeah,
Have you
from,
seen
No,
Internal
no,
Affairs?
it
I
was a
have not.
Chinese
I have
original
not.
film.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, the Departed is great.
yeah. The
Okay.
Departed ripped off of that.
I'll watch. I'll watch him.
Gotcha.
I'll watch him for sure.
But
All right,
hey,
I-
how we doing on time?
I'm about
so
to
we
say
can still talk about
we're good.
Soul.
I think we gotta kick Preston out.
yeah. So
Unfortunately.
if you haven't seen Soul, this is where I leave. This is where you leave.
These were spoilers for Soul
Yep.
Begins.
Yeah.
And goodbye. Have a great day.
Wait a minute, you're my ride.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Yep. So Preston's back. Just a quick explanation. We did actually do the recording for the Soul review right after Preston left, and it ended up being around 50 minutes where we meant to go about 15 minutes. We just went back and forth too much, and it was too much of a discussion and less of a review. So we're coming back today. Preston has actually watched the film now, so we can all discuss it as a group, and we're just going to try to knock this out as quick as we can. So, Preston, I want to hear your opinion on the film.
Yeah, this is a dangerous thing for me to do since I don't know what your guys' opinion on the film was, so I
Yep.
might get lapooned right here. But let's see. I actually loved it. I thought it was great. If you know anything about music, it was very true to the music. It was, and I love that the guru guy was literally just a sign spinner, not some guy that's like in a studio, like yoga master. He's just out there vibing, and I was like, yeah, that
Yeah.
seems about right.
Mhm.
And so everything about the film, I wasn't expecting where it went, where like I thought they were going to spend most of the time in the soul realm, and it actually was most of the time just 22 discovering the world and everything. 22, great character.
Mhm.
Loved it. Loved the relationship. Loved the ending of like, yeah, I'm gonna just go live my life now. Like, I appreciate it. And so just the whole story and message overall, everything was awesome. Like, honestly, was there different points that I was like, oh, could they get better? Not really. Like, this movie it wasn't perfect, but it was highly enjoyable. And Pixar has done it again where they're doing this thing that gets you in there. It's a great story, something that is maybe not for everybody, but it is for most people who don't hate movies in general.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm one of those who hate movies in general because
go.
I really did not like it. And primarily, you follow the character Joe. He's the main focus. He is not a likable character. I never enjoyed him for a second. And 22, the second 22 gets introduced, I'm starting to love the film. I was clocking out for the first 10 minutes when it was just about Joe because he's not a relatable character. I couldn't understand why he was just the way he was. And then 22 pops in, and then you like him. And I was hoping it would be more in the soul room. But when they end up going back in the bodies, why is it when a white chick goes in a black man's body, that's when he starts being liked by everyone? Can you answer me that? Did you catch that? Wasn't that a bit strange?
She's not
No,
white.
she is not white.
She's not white.
Unidentified. But that's the thing. It was just
She
like
ends up
is
probably
she
being
even a she?
Chinese.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
right.
she was actually going to China on
Yeah.
the map.
Right.
But that's the thing. It was just like one of those things. It's just like, why wasn't he better in his own life than this person who has never cared about anything?
He wasn't mentored by all the greats of history,
But
right?
she didn't care about anything they had to say.
No, but
that's
she-
the
but
thing.
she
and then
took it.
she
But
goes
she took
in
that
his
knowledge.
body
Yes.
and instantly starts caring more about everyone. And this guy who's lived his life never cared to ask the bartender about his own
Barber.
personal
Yeah.
Why
life.
you always keep calling him a
I don't
bartender?
know.
Barber.
I don't know.
He
I guess
cuts the
because
hair.
I don't go to a
I was
bar-
gonna
a
say,
barber.
that's 'cause you're
you
bald.
respect his profession.
I don't go to
Yeah,
a barber.
man.
I'm bald, man. Yeah, but I didn't care for him as a character at all. I love 22. I did love the joke with the Knicks. Of course, that's apparently landing kind of harsh on people right now.
Oh, really?
the
But,
Knicks.
yeah, I've been reading articles about how people are not happy about that joke. It didn't land properly. It's just
Oh,
like, that
I
seemed
forgot the Knicks were still a
hilarious.
team.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I only know the Knicks because of Friends. Go Knicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey's fan. But it was just that in the ending. The ending is probably the part that really destroyed it for me. Because if he would have actually sacrificed himself, actually died, and you know how the beginning of Up started, where it was kind of these life moments as those two got together, got to know each other, they could have basically killed off Joe and did kind of a time lapse like that with 22. As she, imagine the feelings you would get, or it started living its life. Imagine how you would feel Joe sacrificing himself and you get in small instances of that character's life. But no, they had to play it safe. And I was reading articles. They did test several different versions of it.
Right.
And apparently they wanted the safe one. And I did not care for it because everything they had built up to, finally I was caring for Joe. But the sacrifice he made no longer is a sacrifice because he's given everything back.
Yeah, but so if you read the article, which I mean, I know you did because
Yeah.
you sent it to us. They said that the ending that they landed on, where Joe comes back and that he's given a second chance, they felt that it landed better, not because it was necessarily safer, but I actually kind of agree with their reasoning, even though I agree that maybe the ending could have been different. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I agree with their reasoning, which was that if Joe just went to the great beyond, it wouldn't have given him the opportunity to apply the lesson that he learned.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, then he dies and he's like, oh, well, I lived my life. But now he can actually come back and say, like, okay, actually, I went through this experience and I can use that to change my own life.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, let's be real. You don't always get second chances.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
So
no.
the fact that, it's like, okay, I could have learned more about. I hate you, bro. I almost called him the bartender. I could have learned more about the barber while I was here. I could have actually had these one-on-one talks with my mom, but
Yeah.
it's too late, so I kind of have to live with that. So that
He missed his opportunity.
Yeah, he missed his opportunity, and he has
Right.
to live with that. So that ending would have been a lot stronger. And then, a lot of people could have applied to that. Like, you know what? I should learn from that. Like, you don't always get second chances. So while I'm here, you do the things that I should be doing.
He's sacrificing that chance to basically to do more with his life,
Yeah.
to give 22 her life,
Yeah.
because 22 hasn't had it. And I found that fascinating. I mean, that would have been far better than him. Okay, now you can have your life back. Then Terry, this accountant who would notice a flaw there, will distract him. But honestly, I didn't care for Jerry and Terry's animation. you apparently did.
I
thought
liked it.
Yeah, I
liked
didn't care for it. It just seemed a little like
it was some scribbles. It was like
this-
just
No,
scribbles.
that's the
this is what
purpose.
you
Like
got?
they're unformed. It's this like they're not exactly a being that's coming to Earth, so they're just kind of like indistinguishable. Which, if you read the Bible,
Nope.
you see that
Sorry,
yeah,
no.
angels aren't these beautiful things. They're like complex
There
creatures.
are multiple wheels covered in eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And flames
so,
and
like,
6 wings.
I saw that design being kind of an homage to this of like something indescribable. Just like, oh, it's kind of like you have to make up the image for yourself. And two, with what you're saying.
But that's the thing. It was like everyone sees them differently, yet all the Jerrys look the same. All the Terrys apparently look the same. Of course,
No,
there was only one
there
So
was
you're
Terry.
only
telling
one
me that if I
Terry.
go to heaven, that I can look at these angels as they're all Halle Berry?
no.
all nude.
Oh, then there's no point in going to heaven.
No. But my point being is, okay, what is one of the most popular Christmas stories of all time? The Christmas
Die Hard.
Carol.
Thank you.
Oh.
That's not what I was going for. But in the Christmas Carol, you have 3 ghosts visit this guy. And you could say, oh, he should have just died and not everybody gets a second chance. And that's essentially what you're saying. But it's just, I see it as
But
almost
that
like an
story is
adapted.
about him seeing the other side.
Exactly, though. But
Right.
this is the
But the
same
thing is,
story.
the thing is there's no secondary character that is like in A Christmas Carol. If you go to it, there is no secondary character who is gifted life through their sacrifice.
Oh, no.
Timmy.
Tiny Tim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tiny Tim.
No, he is gifted life through him living, not through his sacrifice. Through him living.
His sacrifice,
sacrifice
is living.
by
is
him,
living.
by him, but
His sacrifice is
No,
giving
living-
into the Christmas thing.
yeah, living for others, not himself. The changing that purpose, changing that focus, in that works.
That
But
is
the
a
thing
sacrifice.
Here is
Yes,
the selfish
that's
guy.
a sacrifice.
He is sacrificing himself, but all of a sudden it's just like, here, you get your life back.
Hey, question. Isn't this the story with the ghost to like Christmas Past?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
the only version of that I've
Yeah.
seen is the Matthew McConaughey one.
Matthew
I'm
McConaughey.
not even
Ghost of
familiar.
Girlfriend's Past.
Oh.
With him and Jennifer Garner and Michael Douglas. This is the only
Wait,
one I
wait,
can
Is
remember.
that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
You've never
It has
seen
Emma
like the
Stone.
Muppet one?
Oh, the
No.
Muppet one goes hard.
No, I haven't seen no.
Okay,
Dude.
watch Disney Plus. That one's
Dude.
actually
I'll
great.
check it out.
It's good.
Yes.
It's so good.
I love that the only version you've seen is probably the least version of that you
I
can
love
watch.
Matthew McConaughey.
You can
and it
even
had
you can
Jennifer
even watch
Garner.
Scrooged and probably have a
Is that the
more
one with?
accurate
No, I'm thinking about.
Bill Murray.
Okay, I'm thinking about the one with Dave Chappelle, but that's called Screwed.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I don't know that. Yeah.
I don't know that one. Anyway, I mean,
okay, I like the. Okay, I did enjoy the movie, but it did have its problems. I'm not going to talk about the ending again because we going over that like crazy. Enjoy those nacho fries over there.
heck yeah.
But Joe, I related to him a bit because I mean, his whole goal is to become a jazz musician or whatever, and he's not there yet. He's kind of like he's doing something that involves jazz, but he's not quite there. Just like me, I want to become an actor, but all I'm doing is like YouTube and this and that. So I kind of see what he's coming from. But it's like after he dies, I'm thinking the entire movie is going to be about the souls, about Joe, and then it becomes a story basically about 22, which 22 is the best character. I love 22, but I want it to be more about Joe. I can see why he's kind of an a-hole the entire movie because it's like he has this moment where his whole life can change and he's stuck in a cat's body or he's just stuck as a soul. But like I said, I wanted to be more about Joe. I wanted to be more about like afterlife and all that, and I didn't get that. It was mostly just a body swap comedy, which
Yeah.
is really all it was. And not to go at the end again, I think he should have like just died instead of coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Terry, was it Jerry? Was it Jerry? or Terry?
Jerry
Terry's
was
the accountant.
Nice ones. Terry was the accountant.
I wanted him to be more involved. I thought he was going to be the villain, or not even a villain, just the antagonist, someone to kind of like keep messing up their plans. Okay, let's go find Joe in 22. He spots them in like 2 shots. I go to this street, he's not there. I go to that street, oh, there you go. I'm like, okay, that was quick. So I'm just like, for me, he served really no purpose. I wanted to see more of Terry. So
and I think one thing that would be funny because he does trap that one guy from
That
the
was great.
barbershop.
Right,
yeah.
That,
Great.
That
barbershop scene was perfect. They did I felt like they recreated a black barbershop perfectly. The hairstyles was awesome. The main barber, I mean, like, big dude, the big bushy beard. I'm like, yo, I've had my hair cut by this guy numerous times before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen guys like this. Like,
and the one chair that's always left empty.
the one chair that's always left empty. That Paul dude, the one that got accidentally stuck into the sunken place.
Yeah.
I just saw him and already didn't like him. Because I know guys with the hairstyle, they always act the same.
Frosted tips.
Yeah. Like they have a term for him, but I can't say it. You know, he's an F-boy. Let's say that. He's an F-boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was my favorite scene, the barbershop scene. But and then what made the movie worse for me is that I watched it, I watched this and then I watched Onward. And Onward, you know, I thought was way better than Soul because, I mean, that movie was about, you know, this kid, he wants to get his father back, so they're doing like this magic and all that. And even then, at the end of the movie, he didn't see his father, but it's like everything that he wanted from a father, he got that from his brother. And that kind of like had me, it got my emotions going. But then you have Soul, I'm just like, okay, it was cool.
Yeah, because there was nothing happened.
No.
Nothing really happened as an effect of his decision. He got his life back in the end.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
but
it was like nothing going on.
But
for
it's
me.
the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
he
the
went. But the
lesson.
thing is, I didn't feel anything from his
Exactly.
transformation. It was just like, okay, he finally grew up. Nice.
For me, Soul was about 22, barely Joe. It was more for me. It was more about
because as
22.
soon as 22 shows up, you fall in love with 22.
Mhm.
Well, it's Tina Fey, so of course. But
Yeah.
my whole thing is you're saying it's not about Joe. I would argue that the point is so much on Joe that you forget it's on Joe because it's him watching his life being lived by someone else. And it's that appreciation that it's like, oh man, this person is living my life better, not even know what's going on, than I've been in my own body and failing. He's so wrapped up in jazz.
But he didn't seem to get to that point.
But here's the thing.
He did.
Yes.
Till the very end. But it's
That's
like
the
it's
point.
they hinted at it.
Of course,
they
he doesn't
hinted
learn
at
until
it.
the end. You
They
can't
hinted
learn it
at
at the
it.
beginning of the
right
film.
before the credits
Scene
roll.
through scene
But
through
that's
scene,
the-
and it's just like, what the heck? Come
Th-
on,
it-
it's
this is-
obvious.
no.
Even after
How
that,
long- This is his
he gets into a
journey.
How
little-
long is the epilogue after Ebenezer Scrooge learns his lesson? It's
What
so
the hell is an
short.
epilogue?
Yes.
Epilogue.
Like
yeah,
after the main story is done and the character learns their
Oh, okay.
lessons.
It's
You
like
said
them
that.
running through the streets,
Right. He
tossing out money.
Right, and
Gotcha.
he goes like he gives money back to the charity. He tells the kid to get a goose. He goes to the Cratchit's house and he has dinner. Like and he goes to his nephew's house too,
Yes.
and goes to the party.
Yes.
Like very very short. It just covers like those four things, and it kind of.
Exactly, but there was only Ebenezer Scrooge you really needed to follow. Here, I love 22, and we don't.
But I think the point was that you didn't need to know 22's life.
Because she hadn't had one.
But she had experienced it through him. I was fascinated to find out how the reason truly as to why she got her
I don't think it mattered. That's
spark.
because that's
Okay.
sort of the
Yeah,
thing.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
But
it
it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
Yeah, what was her? Yeah.
But
Well-
it was truly fascinating that she was actually excited to finally live, but she was living through his body and she was going to finally get her chance. And she got her chance through Joe's sacrifice. But then it's made meaningless when his sacrifice isn't a sacrifice.
Okay.
That's my biggest issue.
But it was a sacrifice.
He should have died. Plain and simple. He should have died.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. There is two factions at this table.
right.
One that is okay with the ending, understand that movies aren't going to always please everybody. And the other that's not going to be budged. This is what they believe.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
should have died.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that's
should've.
okay. That is totally okay that you guys believe that, but you also have to let other people have their joy.
Screw your
Just
joy.
like we're gonna say,
Onward
agree to
was better.
disagree. Go and watch Soul. Make your own opinion. Pixar movies are subjective, as is all art, and just enjoy it or don't. That's your choice, and that's what we're gonna leave you on today.
And at least the soundtrack I thought was really
Yeah,
good.
the soundtrack
soundtrack's
was
flat.
great.
Soundtrack was really
That
good.
was great.
And the animation, I mean, just the scene where like the I don't remember any of the characters' names. The woman who plays the saxophone,
Mhm.
like you just look at that and it's so like they get up on that saxophone and you see, I mean, it's almost sexy.
Well, it's
You're-
artistic. It's really like how a musician, if you're recording
Yes.
like a
and it's
whatever it's called.
And when I consider like the intricacies of like, because when you have animators animate, but they're using rigging. So the character models are designed, and then riggers go in there, and they make sure that everything like
You
has,
said riggers, right?
Yeah.
yes,
With an R.
yes, sir.
Okay, continue.
The hard R, and they make sure that all the fingers can articulate properly, and things can, so that animators can do their job. And I was just thinking about like, oh my gosh, somebody had to model that saxophone and like rig all of the little bits and pieces, and it was accurate. It was just so, that to me was unbelievable looking.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, art style was amazingly done. The
Right.
music was great. But the
Right.
problem is I primarily focus on story more than anything. I don't get distracted by how beautiful things
no.
are.
I'm not
'cause
saying
it's
that.
just-
I think the story is good and that
Yeah.
is good, but we disagree on that point.
Yeah, well,
and
for
that's
me,
okay.
I think the one problem I had, we're going around in circles,
No.
was just that ending. Just that ending. For
Okay.
me,
Okay.
it was
we
just
will,
the ending.
We will leave it at that. Just watch Soul. It's not a children's film. That's another thing. So I mean, if your kids might enjoy it,
there are things for kids.
everyone
It's-
I've talked to said their kids enjoyed it. But
There's a talking cat.
But it's not.
Kids are gonna enjoy
but it's not
it.
the same as watching almost any other Pixar film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, even with most Pixar films, there are things for adults to enjoy as well.
right.
Depending on the Pixar film. Some
This,
of them
I
really
think this
missed
one
the mark.
was a little different.
Yeah, it was more for adult audiences. A lot
Right.
more adult themes, not adult themes and maturity,
Right.
but deeper,
No.
deeper, far deeper.
Yeah. So anyway, enjoy it. Don't enjoy it. Whatever. Leave your opinions and thoughts in the comments if you've watched the film. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Share this channel if you like it. Also, follow, share, and like Big Daddy Mo and L Scribbler. They're both on YouTube and they are on Instagram as well.
Mo
And
Jenkins,
Mo
Instagram.
Jenkins. Mo
Yeah.
Jenkins on Instagram. So I guess that's kind of it. This is the Pleb Critics Podcast signing out. See ya.
Adios.
Toodles.
Peace.